What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing? We'll be getting started here shortly. Just gotta continue to fuck around with my... Okay. Just had to check some stuff related to work. Now we are starting a little bit early. Not as early as I wanted to, mind you. I thought I would be starting at 8. And I'm 20 minutes late for that. This stream is going to be shorter than the normal ones are. Because I actually have to go to work much earlier than what I normally have to go to work to. So, like normally I don't have to go to work until 3. 2 at the earliest. Today it's 12. So, at least I'll be getting paid more than normal. Silver lining. And I'll have some time to do stuff in the evening. So we'll see what those things look like. Check out DM? Okay, hold on. I'm checking out my G Fuel right now. Always good when Icor tells you to check DMs, man. What kind of Starcraft equivalent of a dick pic did you send me? Ah, let's see. Exciting stuff. Increments existing build needs instead of adding new. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty good. So that way the only way you would hit the need limit is if you had 100 unique types of requests. Like if you requested 100 different buildings, workers, and upgrades. Which still is an issue, as funny as that sounds. Because... Wait, is it 100 or is it 1,000? I think it's 1,000. I don't remember. I think it's 100 per town or something. Anyway, it's still kind of an issue because you could, in theory, have like what, like 60 upgrades per race or something in the late game. But by the time we get to that point, I assume, like Brood War Hydra era, I assume we'll have a bunch of extenders. I'm not really worried about that. That's cool, though. Thank you for taking some time to fix that. So Icor is basically working on a command that will help us out with the same issue that plagued Stormborn a while ago, where we didn't have the ability to properly handle certain things. Town need limit is actually fairly low per town. So if you go over that limit, you just start crashing pretty much. pretty despicable. It is 100, yeah. It is as I feared. Our prophecy will come true. Yeah. Okay. Right. So even to request new units, we're going to need some serious fuck. No, they're not mine to make. That's DF. DF's making the water cliffs. Unless you're talking about a different tile set. He's making the water cliffs for this tile set. Yeah. I'm hoping I have enough time to do everything that I want to do as well. Time will tell. Kissing some doodads right now, but we got other things to do. Bigger fish to fry. Some good conversation happening in the Todd Time Strategy channel. Alright, so let's pick up where we left off. We were working on Rektson's Zerg script. Oh, and that reminds me. I need to find Chuck and Ahmed. Alright, so where there's a Goliath, we gotta do civilian. Raider Cyclops. Alright. Just had to add that unit in there. I really wonder, like, I have all of these custom graphics that I ripped from, you know, all the ports that I'd made from Five Nations. I don't actually know what the fuck I could even use them for. Some of them, like, it seems like, okay, you have this asset. You should use this asset. You didn't have this asset before. What can you make out of this? What can you use this for? And I'm just sitting here like, like, I don't fucking know. What do I do with them? Oops. Alright, so we fixed that. So how many players are in your map again, Iquare? I think you said you were using all 8, right? Giant free-for-all map. Should be exciting. I think I did the build thread for one of these. No, maybe not. I filled in the base layouts for all of them, but I guess I didn't do any build thread stuff. Alright, so... Oh, this is multi-ran, so... should be able to just stop it. So after the Hydralisk Den for this AI, I think this is when they're supposed to expand, right? So... Or when were they supposed to expand? Oh, it just waits until they have 9 drones or whatever. Okay, so we should actually be clear to just progress after this point. I don't know if a second evolution chamber would be viable by this point. They would need, I don't know what one this is, 5216. That is the third one. Okay. I don't see any reason why that shouldn't work, but again, we'll have to synchronize this stuff. We'll have to figure it out. I also feel like there should probably be some way, like we should have that wait for command as a custom script comparison, or a script comparison. And there should be a, like, and by wait for, I don't mean the wait for that you added recently, but it should be like script comparison, wait for, or wait for. And then, wait build. Well, we could just say build, and then there's like build start, and a couple other things. Wait for build 3 troop colony. Wait up to 5 seconds. Something like that. I mean, I don't know what the syntax would actually be, but I feel like that would be Like, the wait build and wait build start stuff, what scares me about them is, I mean, for one, the early game stuff is tailored to the understanding that you will not have as much money. So you need to, like, part of the waits are for resources, but I don't want to calculate, like, I don't want to put resource checks instead. I mean, I guess I could. But to me, it feels better to put checks for where, I mean, especially when you're trying to adhere to base layouts with regards to creep and stuff. Like, for me, it makes more sense to do that. And resource checks are also clunky because you can't compare checks for resources insofar as, like, for example, you can't compare resources of, like, ore and gas in the same comparison. So you'd have to multi-thread that out if you wanted to actually wait for the right thing. So, like, if, say you're waiting for enough gas to morph into a spire, which is not a... It's like 150, I'm pretty sure. So it's not that much, but you still would want to check that. So you didn't give them the spire request before they had enough gas. Well, you also want to wait for 200 minerals. So you can't, like, do both. Oh, no, I guess you can do wait any, right? But it would have to be 200. You couldn't do 200 and then 150. So you could wait until you were 50 gas over the limit. Or you could do something dumb where you wait for, like, 175 so that you know you're over the gas limit, but you're also almost at the ore limit or something. I don't know. I guess you could also wait for 200, like 150 gas and then wait for 200 minerals right below that, so that the more higher priority resource is up there first. Like, you wait for that first. This is less likely to be out of sync. But the reason why I was saying, like, multi-threaded is, like, you would almost have to have, like, a loop of something like this where it'd be like dumbass loop. And it would be wait 12, resources 13, at most 199, it's ore 199, dumbass loop, resources 13, at most gas 149, dumbass loop, return. And you have to do this every single time. So, like, this would be like resource or I don't know what it is. It's like resource check spire or something. And you'd have to make a unique one of these and call it every single time. I mean, I guess by this system, this might actually be easier than what I was saying earlier. But it is still really dumb that you would have to do a situation like this. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I will do that. I'll experiment with this AI. Because, like, a part of the Mapcrap's AI system is experimentation. Like, trying to figure out, like, what does work. I still want to make it something really good, but I want to see, like, can I get a bunker containing AI going, and can I synchronize that with AI allies? And I mean, I know theoretically the answer to all these questions is yes. Can I make a functioning Zerg AI, for example? Theoretically, that answer is yes, but I have to actually do that. You know what I mean? So I don't have as many excuses to do that in actual campaigns that I'm working on right now. The bunker stuff and the other shit. So I'm using Mapcrap as, like, a way to experiment in this sense. What's up, Connor? What's up, Ultralisks? Welcome. Started the stream a little bit early. Wanted to start it at 8. Started it at, like, 8:20. So I was a couple minutes behind. That's just because I got to go to work early today. So I'll be leaving. I have about 2 hours and 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 2.5 hours, basically. That's how much I got. I think, if I did my math correctly. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, still enough time to get some good streaming work done, but, you know. Yeah, it's possible. It's just a matter of figuring it out. Like, I mean, the thing is, the absolute worst case scenario is I have to feed the money. But I'll find some system that works in a fair manner. Alright, so it's stuff like this. I need a queen's nest check. Oh, I guess that's the same cost, right? As this one. I did some work on the base layouts. So AI related stuff. But at the beginning of the stream I was messing around adding some doodads and stuff, but nothing crazy. Anyway. So what else does he need? Ultraless Cavern, Defiler Mound, I think are the only other two. The rest are all mineral only. It's like Evolution Chamber, Creep Colony, stuff like that. I don't remember the cost of an Ultraless Cavern offhand. So... time to refer to the units.dad. $150, $200. Wow, Defiler Mound's only 100. I did not have numlock on, so I page upped. I'm impressed that I've been able to not quit Deus Ex, man. I really thought I would have to. So this is... 9. Check. Okay. Okay. Cool. Easy. I've made 2. This is the third one. Both of those were Terrans, so it was pretty easy. But I already did the base layouts for this AI, and at this point it's just a matter of finishing the town thread. Alright. Well, it's just that if I write a Terran script and then I have to write another Terran script, I can copy most of the shit I wrote for the Terran script, the first one, into the second one, and then just change whatever I need to change, like upgrade order or Obviously, base layouts, expansion orders, stuff like that. That's more specific to that player, attack personalities. But it's like I have the framework of the AI already done at that point. Deus Ex playthrough is going pretty well so far. As well as that game can go, I think. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm on hard, but I did that accidentally at some point. That's what Rimtech told me. I didn't actually go back and check. So I think I'm on the hard difficulty. Which, whatever. The game isn't actually challenging. It's just really fucking slow, and I can't figure it out. So... Now, which... Alright, Spore is 5. So we've got 4 Sunken Colony 92. I don't think the ore checks for these colonies are really that necessary, but in super edge cases where they don't have any money while they're doing this, it may help them. I don't know, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Like, Half-Life at least lets you move around fast, even though the pacing was terrible. And it sent you into vents all the time. Like, Deus Ex sends you into vents all the time and also makes you move super slow. But apparently, I'm going to get a speed augment that will actually let me play the game at a reasonable pace, so... Hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, but... I don't know. I have to get Daedalus. Alright. So in this case, we built the second Evo chamber. I think they'll probably wait until their lair is done and then grab a... Well, I don't know. Charlie was like... Charlie is a Hydralisk, so he favors Hydralisks. He's probably going to go like Hydra Lurker or something. I think we're probably going to get... the Zerg... Like the Zitzun to favor like... mix of ground and air, where they're gonna have the... They're mostly going to be like Muta, Guardian, as far as air goes, and then the rest of their army will be like Hydra and the new unit or something. Whereas Charlie will be like Zergling Hydra Lurker, like a souped up steroid version of the Zerg AI script in Melee that goes Zergling, like I think their first attack is like 12 Hydras and 8 Lurkers or something, or maybe that's their second attack. It's something like that, though. Yeah. See, in my case, they're really meant to be completely different races, but obviously I don't have time to implement a new race on top of the Zerg, so I'm just adding a couple of distinct units to each player, basically, and seeing where that goes. Like, at some point, I intend to spend some time adding new units to the players faction. Not only the Cyclops that I already added, but like I'm gonna re-add the drive-by, which is present in the full toilet map that I made last year, as well as I'm probably going to find some other space to add some more units. Like, I'm not sure exactly what they will be, but I'll figure something out. Oh shit! Would they stack? Or is it one or nothing? Because if I could have stacked speed aug canisters this whole time, I would have. That really sucks, man. I had no idea. Well, at least there's one that I can get, like you were saying. My speedo is augmented. Yeah, I didn't know that there was 2 of them that I had already walked past. They don't stack. Okay. So all I did was like slow down that part of my gameplay. Well, if anybody does know where the last one is, I will I'm not going to pay you money for that information, but you can feel free to let me know what that information is anyway. If you catch my drift. I kind of don't like the fact that there's this is like a straight line almost. I feel like it should be offset a bit. And then we can do that. Oh, okay, thanks. Sounds like I'll have some time to suffer whenever I play that again. A mixed bag, because if I'm playing something that I actually want to play, because I want to play it genuinely or because I want to get it over with, I have to wait until it's like Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the days I can do that pretty much. Some Saturdays I'll be able to, but certainly not this Saturday because I have a family event. I'm not even going to be able to do Fraud Night Saturday. Unless it's like really late. But most of the Europeans... Well, most of the people who play with me on Fraud Nights are Europeans. So they will not be able to join. But that being said... it just means that I have to like... allow Deus Ex to become a distant memory for a week. And then get back to it later. So at the very least, I get a break from it. But it's like, at the same time, you kind of sometimes just want to get it over with. What's up, Ben Gore? Making a large-scale, free-for-all styled custom campaign mission. Well, it's not really for a campaign, but it's a styled after custom campaigns. And I have done a lot of tile set editing and tech tree modding to make it even more exciting than that already tells you. So right now, these are all these pre-placed things are for the AI that I'm writing. Everybody's going to start with something akin to this starting force, and things will spiral up from there. And the player will have an ally. It's just going to be a wacky adventure, man. It's kind of like a comedic map, but it will expect you to play the game well. Hey, what's up, Molly? Shut up, Riptech. There's a room with 3 different hug canisters. Shut up. That's like Nico from Mouse Sports, back when he was in Mouse Sports. Alright, so where were we in this AI? I got sidetracked by fixing tiles and getting upset that the map was not looking as good as it could have been. Oh yeah, I've got to do this. What gateway unit compositions should be fitting for robo-mech factions? Yeah, like, it would pretty much start out with... I mean, Hierophants are now no longer, like, a tier 2 unit since I made the requirement for the... Warp Anchor a Principality, Cybernetics Core. So you can morph the gateway pretty much as soon as you get Dragoon access, if you really need a Hierophant early on. So I feel like Hierophants can enter into the game more, like, at an earlier level, but they're really not super useful until kiting shows up. Like, they'll be useful against the player, I guess, if the player's trying to run away and the Hierophants are giving chase. but they're not going to be super useful against AI-controlled units until that stuff is done. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. As far as the other units, I mean, obviously Reavers are big. Clarions can certainly augment stuff, but they're not really meant for robotics. They're mostly meant for like zealots or like mass units. Like if you're gonna go like mass scout or something. And they're probably really good at keeping interceptors alive as well, which is pretty funny. But yeah, stuff like that is pretty much, that's it, man. All right, so how many colonies are there in this main anyway? Not too many, right? No, 10. Now, where's the second spore? That's a 9. Should they proxy before or after they set up their main? Or not really proxy, it's like a staging area. I think they'll do that later on. So we'll just do build 1 or 2 hatchery. All right. They will be somewhat exposed from over here. I might want to place an extra colony or something. But, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Well, I don't know what the percentage you hooked it up for shield damage sharing. So what do we do next? I think they would go for the spire. This new system is really weird, but I hope it works out, man. In theory, I'm just doing what the AI should be doing by itself, but somehow I have a feeling this will improve efficiency, which is a testament to how silly the AI actually is. I do think that the decision to separate the AI in this case, I mean the requests for structures and the requests for defenses, I think it made a lot of sense in this case. It worked out pretty well, in my opinion. Much easier for flow control, that's for sure. Oh, we need 8. 2. All right. I think I already had the proxy town or staging or something. Did I already put RS staging in here? I think I made the... Yeah, EXP staging is what I did. But I didn't do an initialize, per se. Yeah, I just did create script, and then it calls in a town anyway. So, okay. So we'll say EXP staging. I need a sample of create script because I always forget the syntax for this command because I'm dumb. 255 coordinates, 0. Resource area can just be 4, like the main. And then... I think a hive is 200, 150? Yeah. So we need a new check for that, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, we can use the spire. As weird as this connection is to make, though, I actually have a feeling. Yes, a bomb is a bad choice for close quarters combat. I have a feeling that the way that I'm writing this AI in here is like, it's almost how you, like, it's not quite the level, but it's almost how you would have to write AI if you didn't have a framework within which to work with. Like, I'm not taking the check of resources into account here, even though that's like a default system of the AI. And so that, like, getting into a headspace where you're not taking that shit for granted and you're, like, actually prescribing each individual thing, I think it's a useful exercise for programming, even though obviously it's inefficient, we'll say, or less efficient than if you had an intelligent system at your disposal. I suspect we do not have an intelligent system at our disposal for AI, so I will see what's up, man. I'll see how this test works. So we have a hive coming in. I guess there should be a second spire, though, if they're going to request that. So I'll throw one in this staging area. That one will just get a player need greater spire at some point. Let me just add this to the staging so I don't forget about it. Fix it out. Yeah, that's... I'm simultaneously your most and least favorite. But what's going on? My name is Lynn. Smoke myself to death, by the way. This Deus Ex playthrough, man. At least I don't have to play it for another 5 days or something. Alright, so... Zergling Hydros... Acid Elder... What else are they going to use? Muta... And then... I mean, they're not really going to build Scourge, but... I'll put requests for Defilers and all that shit in there, even though I don't think I'm gonna call them ever. I mean, not requests, I'll put Define Max Battles in, just in case I do. Probably won't be making any Devourers. Also, ever since I use Slack for work now, I'm amazed how behind it is. Like, Discord's mobile UI, as bad as it is still better than Slack's. So it seems. And of course, they're using Google Forms. Monday. Bing. So, I guess at this point we're just going to be continuing down the rabbit hole of the script itself, the main town thread. We've done the tower thread, so that's good. And then, wait, let's start one hive. After the hive. The thing is, like, after the hive, I don't know what... Oh, there's actually a third hatchery base layout here. I guess I could do that. Because that's pretty much it, right? There's nothing else, so... They already have the spire and the queen's nest. Defiler is such a boring name, to be honest. Any action verb name is always so boring. So I think that's everything. Alright, so let's do the staging area, since that's important. I'll treat this as an extension of the main. As far as priorities go. Seven, eight, 9, 10. I just gotta check which one of these. 557, 60. So that's 7. Okay, cool. So that should be good, and I just have to run up here, delete these inline comments, and we're good to go. What's up, Veek? Cool dude over here. So I think the main town is all set. Obviously, the expansion logic was done yesterday. Should be good as well. And filled out defined maxes. All right. We're getting somewhere. So we have defense and upgrade infrastructure, but we need to actually fill in the details. And then we have expansion infrastructure, but we have to fill in the town threads for each expansion. So it's pretty much 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. We do not have any attack infrastructure, so it would be nice to get to the point where that's the last thing to do. So I guess I'll just work down the list. So what we have here is Is that the actual unit def? Oh. At least here it's infested, Kerrigan. Although I don't actually know how the AI is going to use that, because it's supposed to be based off of the lurker, so they may just spin. Not sure yet. We will see. Alright, so that's good. We're good. Defense is done. It worked out, yeah. I just, like I said, watch out for the changes to AI debug speed up functionality. See if it's limiting or not. I just got used to using the arrow keys as opposed to anything else, but I could definitely see why that would be annoying. Well, frames per second is how fast the game is literally running. So they have a note in the INI file that you sent that talks about how if you speed up observer, or if you speed up replay viewing, there's a potential for it to like overload your CPU or something. It's not a problem unless your CPU is super old, and in which case it's just gated, so you can't go that far, basically. Yeah, that's psychotic. Don't say that to me. So what I would say is use caution when setting a max FPS, because that's how fast the game is running. So when you hold plus, you're actually adjusting. Can't believe that actually made a plus. When you hold plus, you're actually increasing FPS so that the game can run faster. That's what you're doing. So if you limit your max FPS, you can't do that anymore. Or there could be some other psychotic issue where you speed things up and the plugins are fighting each other, right? AI debug is fighting the windowed mode plugin. Yes, but I'm pretty sure it goes more than 100 FPS. When you do your max speed up value, like here, I'll show you. I don't know what the actual FPS is. It varies depending on the script that's running, generally speaking. But it's way more than 100 frames per second. Like, look at my frames. This is way more than 100 FPS. So, just saying. And I'm pretty sure you get cucked if you try to do that under normal circumstances. Oh shit, Ahmed, you got 6 kills, bro. Oh, nice attack. So yeah. I'm just telling you to watch out for it, because that note talks about limiting your ability to speed up in replays, and I'm pretty sure the same mechanism is used to speed up in AI debug. So if you notice that you're not going as fast as you remember yourself going before when you're speeding up, just axe that max FPS value. I mean, there's no reason to have it on anyway, unless you have a really old CPU, but I'm pretty sure you told me you're running a modern CPU, so... Spawning pool, Evo chamber. there a 150 by any chance? Of course there isn't. Okay, so maybe there's nothing happening there. It might be being overridden as well. What's going on, Patrick? How are you? Oh, nice. So you got it all going on. You got to actually enjoy the sun itself since you got off work. I work earlier than I start work earlier than I normally do, but in a rare change of events, I'm actually going to have some time off in the evening so I can come home and get some more work done on my stuff, which I'm looking forward to. Might record some Counter-Strike map analysis or something. Since I've been playing so many custom maps lately. There was actually a custom map contest for CSGO that came out recently, that finished recently. And pretty neat. Might as well grab those maps. We've already been playing on most of them for Fraud Night, but might as well grab those maps and give them a look-see. What do you mean, Veek? Every map we've played is custom with the exception of, like... Actually, I don't think we played a Valve-created map on Fraud Night. I mean, we played it in a matchmaking, obviously. Oh, your first message was destroyed. Oh, yeah. Editor is indeed retarded. I'm pretty sure they start out with the extractor, but whatever. I mean, I would sooner go into Unreal and make an FPS map there, you know what I mean, than worry about anything else. There's actually people who have ported CSGO maps into Unreal, right? Which is pretty funny. Well, I don't actually know how the Unreal Editor compares, but I do know that it's crash prone and so unstable, right? Instability is a definite problem. And just to get a map to compile, there's a lot of silly steps that you need to do. And there's also stuff like if you open a Valve map or somebody else's map and then just push compile, which is the equivalent of opening a map in SCM Draft and saving it as a new map. If you were to do that with a Valve map, you would probably break all the lighting and probably some collision. But at the very least, it would break lighting and stuff like that. So like, it's just weird. Like there's just like, it's clearly not well put together. So it's like stuff that maybe that's just how 3D shit works. In which case, holy shit, the entire industry is a sham, even more so than we thought. But I have a sneaking suspicion it's just because Source is a shit engine. But maybe this will also be something that happens when the game is ported to Source too. I have no idea. But the ideal scenario is that I just end up making my own FPS game, and it'll be more exciting than anything else. Yeah. What would you even do for, like, when we're playing Fraud Night and we put in a game? There's not even a game entry for me to do that in, so that'll be really funny. People are like, wow, what are you playing? My own game. What the fuck? Yeah, me too. That's how I feel. Of course. But it doesn't work, is the problem. Source, that is. Well, I don't even know. I guess we'll do it in the snare. Yeah, I guess. I just can't imagine that. Oh. Well, they're not actually going to have defilers. Maybe there will be like a custom upgrade that I make. So we'll just do that for now. We'll leave it the way it is, in essence. Because they're not going to build defilers. So that's less relevant. Alright, so upgrades are done. Moving on to this realm. But yeah, Vik, I'm. That's another thing that really like surprised me, is how few people actually. I love that there's been 1,000 messages in Mark Time Strategy today. Literally 1,000, all about a game that is so fucking boring. You might as well not even acknowledge its existence. Oh yeah, that's true. That would save me 1 line or something per upgrade thing. Really, I should just go 2, right? It would be better that way. You'd save 2 lines. Why am I using what? I mean, I guess in this case I could delete it and it wouldn't matter. Well, that might actually be anachronistic now. I'm pretty sure that, like, when we were testing it before, Necron and I, back in 2017, there was some issue with AI not actually having the requests be persistent. But, like, if you stopped a thread before waiting to make sure that all the upgrades were actually added to the request list, it might not allow the request to be added, is, I think, the fear. I haven't expressly tested this exact thing, but that was something that we came away with from our tests back in 2017. Something to the effect of, like, if you did multi-thread upgrades, and you stopped the thread, without calling wait upgrades first, then the upgrade list, the request may not be added. But I'm not, again, I don't know if that's actually true, or if Nave maybe fixed that with his request recycler. This is like way back in the day, so that may be, like I said, anachronistic. A relic from a bygone era. Alright, let's do this. We still need to do resource checks in this area, I think. But only in the main. I don't think after this we'll need to do them. Alright, so. So I think the first one is... Yeah, it just waits and, like, the problem with it is that it's such a weird system to have to use at all, because you have to wait 30 seconds for the request, like, the limit to, like, the request system may take up to 30 seconds to add the request, which is so ridiculous by itself. And then you're waiting until the upgrades have been, like, confirmed to be added into the request list. So it's like 2 layers of stupidity. And all it does is make sure that the AI actually gets the request. It's like, really, that should be just part of it receiving the request that you write in the code. So, if you wanted to sync upgrades, I would use upgrade jump. I don't really know what you mean by sync upgrades, but I assume it's like... Well, I don't know. I guess you can't, there's no, like, wait upgrade start or something. So, that would potentially be useful. Oh yeah, I actually didn't... Oh, I know I did do tech jump, yeah. So I just need to do IO... snare. Sure, I can copy this from like a old Hydra thing or something. I think these are... This is Parasite. Maybe this is Ensnare? Alright, never mind. I can't copy that. That's terrible. I'll just do idle orders. Oops. Get out of here. Where's my DAT? Close that. I don't need that anymore. At least wait start, yeah, should just be more pliable than that. Well, you can, but there's different, some abilities have like different orders, and the actual order name is not apparent. Like the order the index of order names that is used by A's is I don't think it's documented anywhere, or maybe I just don't have a link to that documentation. But I've never found it to be particularly useful in that sense. Okay, now we're really good to go. It's not that they're pointing to the wrong IDs. It's that some orders are split up into like 2, 3, 4 different orders, and you need to know which order that is. And the order names in orders.dat are different than the order names in Firegraph, and I'm pretty sure both of them are different than the list that's used by A's. So I don't have the documentation for what order name corresponds to what. I'm sure it's safe to use stuff like Ensnare and Dark Swarm and stuff. I didn't know about the upgrade jump thing, but anyway, like, it's not a crazy time sink. If I did know, then it would definitely make the code more readable, and so it would be nice to find the documentation for that stuff. But I didn't think you could use names in upgrade jump. But if you've been using it and it compiles fine and works fine in game, then maybe it's fine. But the orders are the biggest issue. Since there's like 3 sets of documentation, one of which I don't even have access to, which is used by A's. The other 2 are from Firegraph and orders.dat, and they all have different fucking names. So. Okay, so the unit def is aliases. Yeah. Maybe if we could add orders into the unit def and have A's use those, that would be useful. So that we could change some shit around if we wanted to. Eventually we're going to need that once we have the order extender. So. Instead of names, you can use IDs? Yeah, I figured. Like build 130 or something. Oh, well, that would be infested command center. You get the idea. Build 130 1. A request that will never get completed. Alright, so spore number 2 is 4800. It's the last one. Okay. So build for creep colony. 84. Alright, I get it. The most overused sample of 2018. Fuck off now, thanks. Bye! It's only so many times you can hear the same shit without blowing up. Spire in T3. I don't know what that means exactly. Oh, so this is actually supposed to be a spore. Bing, bing, ba, bing, ba, bing, ba, bing, bong, bong. 4320, 4192, so that's a spore as well. Oh, check that out too. Wait. Oh, set that up. Yeah, that auto-completion really does fuck me sometimes, but I just kind of figured that was par for the course. I would not be surprised, Iquare, if the issue was with the original function, but I don't know how you can... Yeah, I don't know how you can take a look at that yet. I wonder how pervasive that issue has been throughout the years. Take that 5... I guess with the syntax highlighter, you generally don't need it. But for block names, it can be pretty useful. Alright. 5952 is 3. Okay. I don't know. I think this is 5, right? 57, 20. I think. Okay. This is 56, 64. I can send you some documentation on it if you want. Alright, I DM'd you some shit, Veek. What's up, Connor? Yeah, Veek is asking what he can do to reduce the amount of work so that it becomes a more attractive thing to work on. Like a 9. Well, that can't be right. Yeah, that's 11. Yeah, exactly. I actually went to the gym yesterday between my 2 streams. I signed up the other day, and I figured 2 days ago now, and so I figured I would actually go in. More of a spur of the moment kind of thing, but I just walked in and I did like some treadmill shit for a while. Eventually, I'm gonna start throwing weights around, but it was pretty good. I set the you know, those on those treadmills, they have like the incline and then they have the speed, and I don't know what it's like. I didn't set it to metric units, so I don't know how it compares to people around the world. But I set the incline up real fucking high, because one thing that happens with treadmills is if you don't set the incline up really high, it's super easy to just keep going, which is, I guess, is good for your breathing or something. Like, it's good for practicing like endurance. I have really bad endurance for running, but I can do tough running. Like, I don't shy away from that challenge. It's just, I feel like if I'm running on the pavement, there's resistance there. There's like, it's very different, much harder than running in a treadmill. So I want to like make it so that it's try to like level that playing field so it feels like it's as tough as running on pavement. So that way it's like, if I do get better at like training my endurance, hopefully I'll also be better running outside instead of only being able to run on the treadmill. So I know a lot of people who can do that, and then they start running outside, and they're like, ah, fuck this, never doing this again. It's like, well, I don't know what you expected. So. All right. What else do we got here? I think that was it, right? We finished. That's the staging. This is done. Cool. So we have to do attacks. I believe that is next. And we have to do EXP. Yeah. How do I feel about being on the treadmill? Pretty good. I mean, another thing that I have is I think it's probably just a feature of being overweight, but it's like it takes me a really long time to catch my breath again after working out, like much longer than I feel like it should. So that's another thing that I hope to improve. But no, I felt like it was a good use of my time. It's one of those things where even though I only did like 15 minutes, it still felt like it's better than not doing any minutes, right? And admittedly, I did have an excuse where I was like, well, I have to go back home and do the Deus Ex stream. But it's good to, like, you know, it's just sitting still for like hours and hours. It's good to go and run. Especially when I'm not working, at least my job has me like walk around a lot, which is not the same level of exercise, obviously, as running. But I feel like on days where I'm not working, it makes sense to just go to the gym, even if it is only for 15 minutes. And super ideally, I'd get to the point where I could do like high intensity interval training, I think they call it, where it's basically like you do like 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever the time is, and then you like you chill out and do like stretching or something probably, or just light walking, and then you go back to running. You know what I mean? Like just do fucking like crazy shit, and like for as long as you can for that bit, and you do that like twice a week for whatever muscle group it is. Like if you're doing running, like cardio, you do that like twice a week or 3 times a week. And then for your like arms, you do that like once or twice a week. Legs, like in terms of weightlifting and shit, you can do that, like split that up. What shocked me was that after the 15 minutes, it said like I had only burned like 150 calories or something, which I guess is probably a good rate of 10 calories a minute. But I was like, really? That's it? Because I felt like I should have burned a lot more. But that's just how it is. At least you made a backup 2 hours ago. Dude, I keep not making backups. It's dangerous. I still can't believe we're stuck using Firegraph for the time being, but it is what it is, I guess. Elder, let's say. Will you? I didn't know that. That's supposed to pump up your testosterone too, which I don't feel I'm particularly low T, but generally I feel like when you increase testosterone, you probably feel better as a man. What's up, wave emoji octopus? You just equivocate me to crap. Yeah, because your body's like burning calories trying to repair the damage you just did. It's like I get some real freaks after they work out. They're like, "All right, time for an ice bath in negative temperature or whatever," like lunatics. And I mean, I would even do that, even though it sounds terrible. I would even do that cryo shit if it was like accessible to me, so I can't really call them lunatics, but it's like just the idea that like you get into this rhythm where working out is not healthy enough. I need to cryo freeze myself. Like, all right, man. You say so. Not to the same degree, man. These guys have, like, cryo chambers. You've never seen anything like it. What am I going to play after Deus Ex? I think I'm going to go back to RTS stuff. There's a couple of custom campaigns for Brood War that I want to play through. We'll see how quickly that changes. One of them is Ascension of Duran, which is a little weird because actually the author of that campaign said that he wanted to remaster it like a year ago, and I haven't seen him since. He's still on my server. So when I invariably find a lot of issues with his campaign, presumably, like, in an insane world, you would expect, oh, it's been, you know, literally, like, over a decade now since the campaign came out, I'm pretty sure. I think it was, like, 2004. So, in theory, he's not going to be super emotionally attached to anything, so he probably won't get super angry at anything I say. But you never know with people. Like, some people are people, and some people aren't. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, the worst thing that happens is he just angrily leaves the server or something. But hopefully he's able to find some utility in whatever it is I end up saying. What the fuck? Elder. Acid Elder. That's this shitty unit that I have to fix the graphic for at some point. I did the shadow already, but I probably have to offset it. But as you can see, there's just random pixels of the graphic. Because whoever fucking made this is a fraud. So I will I'm going to line it up by frame set and try to realign certain things, because like the different facing directions are not centered whatsoever. So I'll try to make it at least a usable Mapcrap graphic, because like the fact is, like, now Mapcrap standards are so high, which is so insane to say, that like I don't even want to use that for Mapcrap, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell, man? What flavor donut? Was it grape creep? Creep jelly flavor? What a reality, man. Wow. Donut review. Holy shit. Put that on the, on their Yelp page. What a shitty name for a service Yelp is, by the way. Get out of town. What's up, DF? What a lunatic emoji, man. Okay. So we've got Mutalisks, Hydralisks, Zerglings, Mutaling, Hydraling. Now we need Elder, Guardian, Ultralisk, right? This is, I really don't know where this sample came from, but it's so fucking dumb.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
very menial task, unfortunately. But one that must be done. Epic. See if we missed anything here. No, that's it. Cool. The attack stuff is super long, man. I wish I could put that into another script and then call that somehow. Especially since for the same like AI personality, generally speaking, it would make sense. Like even if they don't like you could write the attack algorithm for the final mission where all the tech is unlocked, and because of the way that we do the No Towns jump shit, it would still be performant in the very first mission. So it's just code that I have to copy-paste between different scripts for seemingly no reason. Obviously, in this case, we're not doing multiple missions, but I could at least take this personality from this script, I could put it into another script, and then anytime I want to do a Wrecked Sun AI, I could just iterate on this. Wow. Almost just spilled water all over my phone. Would have been great. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Z-Beacon of 1 is add Connor. Yes. Seems good. Okay, just had to fix that. That was really funny. Woo. Ah. TRA. You. What does the target rand look like? Ahmed. Chuck. Oh, yeah, the other thing. So that's the vision shit for the ally change. That's done. Should have enough to compile this at least. Probably won't be able to test it. But we will quickly grab all these and take the opportunity to we're gonna throw them into the placement map. All right. Alright, yeah, they really only do start out with that, so. Alright. Neat! Hell yeah, dude. I mean, you guys must get something out of it, right? I think we'll be looking at some pretty fun shit once this map is in order, but at least the bulk of the AI has been... I mean, wait. I have to write these two for sure, and maybe this guy? So yeah, with this AI's completion, we're at least halfway. We might even be 3/5 of the way. Math. Alright, so let's get the Pathfinder even. Right, yeah. The presence of a man. Alright, target Ahmed. Random gender refined. Okay. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the, oh, well, I know how to do that. Anyway. There we go. Oops. Ah, shit. A double smash. Alright. Now we got our Skeletoni. Let's, prepare the attack regions. All right. Let's write down with Chuck. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that I have to do is I have to have a second trig function that shares vision with frauds. If the frauds mind control the character or something. I guess I'll just work that in with a death rather than anything. Because it's gonna just be given back to the hero in that sense. Or rather, like, if the frauds mind control Rek'Sun, the allegiances will change, but Rek'Sun's character, or the unit, will return to the same player so that they can still be used for defense and stuff. TFA, Tech 2. This is fraud neutral east. Alright, let's see what we have to fix as far as compiler errors. Yeah, I didn't think it was just called Infested Kerrigan in the default one, but I didn't bother actually checking. My own dumbass fault. Yeah, it is H.I. Kerrigan. I knew it! Oh yeah, I don't have EXP Rand in it, and I do not have EXP Worker either. Oh, and I didn't even do a Rand Town. That's an even bigger prank. Alright, so we'll do this. This is before they add Rand stuff. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, of course. Oh, I even had the little thing in here that I could have used instead. Double pranked. Alright, so we know we don't need 4, because that's their main. And then I think the other was 10 and something else. We have 23, 21. So 23, 21, 8, 18. So not 10 at all, but that's okay. 8 and 18. So 8. That. 18. 21, 23. Nice. We did compile successfully. All right. That's a good amount of work for a sub 3-hour stream. Managed to finish Wrecked Sun's AI. And I don't think we really did anything else of note. I fixed some stuff up with the global triggers. But yeah, pretty cool. So obviously we will get some more testing done. I might get some more testing done tonight, but we'll do the bulk of our assessment work tomorrow. Take a look at how the AI performs with nobody else active, just to test how well they perform with regards to their building, their town management, that sort of thing. See if there's any issues with the priority setup that I've got. And then as we continue for development of this map in general, we will eventually move on to working on Charlie's AI, then the frauds, and then we'll make an assessment as to whether or not we want to throw in the other rock-in. And of course, we'll continue to work on graphic conversions and implementing new units and stuff as time goes on too, but lower priority for now. I'd like to get the AIs all functional and then start plugging in new tech tree units and rebalancing and tweaking and doing other fine-tuned, fine detail elements later, where possible. So, that is what I'm thinking for now. But as usual, thanks everybody for hanging out and watching a bearded man type. You man, me man. See you tomorrow.